All right, let's bring her in. You saw her first on Ben Flajnik's season of The Bachelor. You are going to see her on TV very, very soon, March 2nd to be exact. We'll get into that right away. It is good friend Courtney Robertson. Courtney, how are you?
Hi, Steve. I'm doing pretty well. We tried to do this earlier, and I had to go
And
pick up Gabriel. Thank you for bearing with me. I just lit my candles, and I'm here. I'm good.
right as we were about to record, literally as I was about to press record a few hours ago, you get a call from his school, the
Yeah.
nurse's office. You're like, oh boy, I already know what this is. And you're like, I bet you Gabriel's sick. And lo and behold, 101 point, if I remember correctly, because you played it on speaker,
Mhm.
101.6 was his fever, right?
Yeah, 101. 101.6
Yeah.
lethargic. But the thing that I love about it when I record my own episodes, I put on do not disturb.
Yeah.
And you were like, I just got a text from Umberto.
Yeah.
I was like,
He's like, I think you're recording with Courtney right now. Can you have her let her know that that Gabriel is sick at school? And I'm like, and you had just called the school. So I was like, yeah, she's calling them right now.
well, that is a true friend right there. I was like, okay, this is not a fake out. I literally teed up the whole day to do this with you. Oh, and you
Yeah.
just never know what you're gonna get. But he's fine. He's watching Elmo. They've bath time. So we're recording this in my witching hour, which I'm
Yeah.
relieved. Like I get a little break and I enjoy talking to you. And there's so much to dive into. Holy moly.
Did his fever go down at all since you picked him
Yeah.
up? Oh, it did. Okay.
So he's in daycare, but like they won't give him Tylenol. And like I just gave him a little bit of Tylenol. It went down. He was like right as rain, got him, relaxed him, gave him some food, but he's got to stay home. So when your kids get a fever, they can't go back unless you go to the doctor. It's a whole thing, Steve. So
Oh, he can't go
tomorrow,
back. He can't go back to school tomorrow.
no, he can't go back to school.
Oh.
And so like I was like, we need to do this tonight. So thanks for pivoting with me.
Mm. And what is he? 18 months, 19 months, right?
He's gonna
May.
be 2 in April.
Oh,
So
April.
yeah,
End of
he's like
April. Okay.
he's 19 months right
Yeah.
now.
All right, let's get started here. The first
Oh
thing I
yeah.
wanted to mention was if you go back to May, I can't remember. I had you on before my party in May. I can't remember. It might have been the end of April. Maybe it was right around the time of Gabriel's birthday. And we had talked about the fact that there was a possibility that you were going to be missing my party because you were in somewhat of negotiations with being on a TV show that told you, hey, it films end of May, beginning of June, but they didn't
Yeah.
give you any set dates and you hadn't committed yet. That deal ended up falling through. You didn't end up going on that show. But now, since you didn't end up going on that show, we can tell everybody what it was, that you were being discussed for House of Villains 3, which I believe just announced today. They put their trailer out today and they said the start date is, I believe, February 26th, the week before your show, which we're going to get into in a second,
Yeah.
starts airing. So, I mean, obviously you didn't go on it, so you can't say what your experience was on House of Villains 3, but I got to believe your experience on the Bachelor home makeover
It's
show,
it's it's so funny. The name is tricky for people. It's a Bachelor Mansion
Mansion Takeover. Yeah.
Takeover, which is like, is it really a takeover? I mean, not
It
here
should
to
be
judge.
makeover. It should be Bachelor Mansion Makeover, right?
Yes, it's a takeover. That's the name of it. And
Yeah.
yes, you are right. And I actually think so. I saw the cat. They didn't pick anybody from The Bachelor. They were like, sorry. I like was like, oh, should I stretch my legs and go back on reality TV? Like,
Yeah.
I talked to Chad, who's my podcast producer from Game of Roses, and it was like, I haven't been on TV since I went on the show, since I was 28. I'm 42. You do the math. But I even talked to you. I was like, "Do you think this is a good idea for me?" Like, I if you I so I started watching. They're like, "Have you seen the show?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure," doing like the initial casting interviews. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to play it up. They want that villainess. Like, I can give snark, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I was like, this is just like triggering. I mean, there's so much I could say about it, but they didn't end up casting anybody from The Bachelor, which I think is a sign of the times.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just, it probably would have put you back in a place where you maybe didn't want to go. I didn't tell you not. I didn't tell you not to do it. I just said, just know what you're getting into and know that this maybe at the time we had no idea that Bachelor Mansion Takeover was even a possibility. It was even on your radar. So at this point, if it was on your radar back then, I would have said, Courtney, honestly, I think even though we have no idea what this Bachelor Mansion Takeover show is since it's the first season, but we know what House of Villains is about, I would have told you Bachelor Mansion Takeover seems like a much better idea than literally going on a show where you have to be a villain again. And you got a lot of shit for being a villain, 14 years ago or whatever it was, so I'm glad it all worked out. You didn't end up doing House of Villains. I've never seen it. I've seen the clips.
Me either. I watched like a couple. It reminds me of that show, like Got to Get Out, which I think Susan Knowles did and Spencer Pratt. And I don't know if it was Demi or whatnot, but we'll get there. But
Claire and Demi were on it as well. Claire and Demi.
Oh, Demi. I appreciate your input as always, because, I feel like I've created like a safe space. So, but for me, like, that taking me back to last May, I was like, so glad I went to your party. It was a blast, and we will figure out what's going to happen for your party this year. But it was also like a bigger question for me is like, do I want to put myself back on TV? Because here's the thing, Steve, people expect a certain level of snark from me or, what they saw me at 28 versus 42. I have 3 kids now. So like, it's like, how much time does it take? You've asked me when you've had me on before, like, would you do another show? It's like, well, Traitors, of course. I would love to do Traitors. I would love to go up against Nick Viall. I would murder him in a second. But it's like, is, the risk worth the reward? Exactly. So to speak.
I'm thinking that even if you weren't on the Traitors and I think Nick has openly campaigned to be on the Traitors. He wants to be on the Traitors. And I have a feeling that if he were ever to go on it, if he were to get cast, I would think that maybe the Traitors cast, even though we don't know who would be on his season, would all gang up like they had against Michael Rappaport this season and be like, look, I don't care if you're a traitor or a faithful. I just don't want you here. You're annoying to be around. I just want you out of here. I don't care if we're getting rid of faithful.
I have so much to say about him, but here's the thing, like America isn't going to be rooting for him. And I think we should get the Nick stuff out of the way because I don't love him in my orbit. But like, here's the thing. His wife just went on a podcast talking about Whitney saying like, how is she going to do Chicago? Like, I think that there's something, there's something to be said about that. Like, okay, are you going to let Nick do Traitors for however long? I mean, what's the difference? Apples to apples or no?
Well, it's not even that family. How many people that have been on Dance with the Stars are mothers that have children? Or any reality show are mothers that have children. So for her to signal out to pick Whitney out and just say, how is she going to do this? It's like, I don't know how so many other people in reality TV do this that have kids at home. It'll work. Trust me. They've got the funds. They clearly have the money to do it. She's got a husband who's literally a stay-at-home husband. It's not a big deal. Like, I cannot believe Whitney Natalie's wife was willing to die on that hill. It was just a weird. Can
you imagine like what a dichotomy it would be if like Nick actually got Traitors?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you're gonna leave your wife who I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. You can do what you will with it.
Yeah. And they've only they'll just say like, well, we've only have 1 kid. Whitney has 3. It's just there's no whatever she said is not defensible. It was just dumb to say that because she's acting like Whitney Levitt is the only person in the history of reality TV that is a mother and has 3 children that went on a TV show. It's like,
if she had the same offer, she would. I mean, there's some things in life that fall in your lap that you have to do.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, So House of Villains doesn't happen for you in May and June. When were you first contacted about Bachelor Mansion Takeover? When did somebody first email you and say, "Hey, we're thinking about doing this show. It's going to involve the Bachelor Mansion. We're going to be Bachelor people. Jesse's going to host all this stuff." When do you remember when you got like your first email from it?
Probably when I texted you about it, but
I don't remember when it was.
it was about 2 to 3 weeks before I left for filming. It was quick,
That was the
Steve.
first. That was the first contact you got from them. Was
Oh,
that?
yeah, like that,
Oh,
and I was like, I'm postpartum, and we'll get there, but, like, I shouldn't say postpartum, but, like, I've had 3 kids, like, I'm not camera ready, okay? For the listeners, like, I have just been doing the drop-offs as you know, and the pickups when the kids are sick, but, yeah, it was, like, about 2 weeks, it was like, "Okay, we're getting ready to film this," I did the call, yeah, it happened very quickly, which is similar to The Bachelor, like, okay, like, it was about 3 weeks before I left for filming, so I do the call, I do the interview, I told my husband, and then I'm like, this is the range of when I would be gone, and this is how long it because it's a competition show. So we
yeah,
to back it up a little bit, the Bachelor Mansion Takeover it's a new show. It's never been done. HGTV. Jesse Palmer's the host. Tyler Cameron, which I mean, and Tasha, um, and they're the judges of the challenges. And it was like they told us that was, like, in the thing. It was like, "This is, like, the Bachelor Mansion Takeover. We're renovating it. It's for HGTV. It's gonna stream on HBO Max." And so I was like, "Let me talk to my husband, like, if I'm gonna be gone, you're competing for $100,000, right?
yeah.
And it's a competition show, so you could be eliminated, or you could win the 100,000, which that's what you wanna do. You wanna make it the whole time, but so the whole time, I wanna say is, like I don't know if I wanna give exact dates. I wanna be careful,
Yeah.
but,
What
um
did they tell you the longest you could be away? Because obviously you would need to know that as a mother
yes,
to let your husband know and anyone taking care of your kids. I could be gone up to this many days,
4.5 weeks.
4.5 weeks. Okay. So what's interesting is it was, again, this is not an ABC show. It's going to be on HGTV, and I believe you guys started filming in the beginning of September. And just give everybody, they have released the start date, which is March 2nd,
March,
and
yep. Good job, yes.
it's going to come out. And we found out today that season 4 of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Taylor Frankie Paul season, is going to be March 12th, and then her Bachelorette season is going to be March 22nd. Your HGTV show that's coming out March 2nd, I'm assuming that's going to be in a binge. They're going to drop all the episodes in one.
I don't know. I've been
Oh,
like everybody keeps asking me like when is it airing? I was like, so I'm like texting the EPs, and it's funny because you say like, okay, this is HGTV, but it's also a sector of Warner Brothers, which
Warner
should be
Brothers. Yeah.
noted. But it's not Warner Brothers that does The Bachelor.
Hmm. Okay.
Interesting, right? Because I've been denied screeners. I
Yeah.
like I've always felt like a black sheep. But yeah, so I didn't know that her season wasn't like the I mean, Taylor Frankie Paul is a whole other section, but
Yeah.
like the thing that I was curious about was like we just did this whole show and there were producers there teeing up the mansion while we were like doing our challenges and
Yeah.
filming, which I thought was super interesting, and like getting the mansion ready for her.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot about her. I have probably a little bit of tea to spill, but um she's got a busy year. But like
Yeah.
the producers were there like teeing it up. It's like how are they going to do her season when the mansion looks completely different? And so to walk it back a little bit, like I didn't know what I was getting into. I was terrified to do another show. I was like, I cannot be a villain again. I have 3 kids. You know me very well, Steve. Like, but when there's money involved, and it was very hard to deal with. Like, I think people are gonna really love the show. Is all I can say. And but when you're talking about dates and timelines, like I'm thinking like, okay, the our season airs in March 2nd. Thank goodness, because if you're watching Taylor Frankie Paul's season, the mansion looks completely different.
Yeah, for those that don't know,
safe and sound.
Your season of Bachelor Mansion Takeover filmed basically in the month of September. Taylor Frankie Paul started filming Bachelorette, I think the exact date off the top of my head is right around October 22nd or something like that. I could be off by a day or two. But basically, you guys filmed your show at the mansion, and then 3 weeks later, Taylor Frankie Paul started her filming of The Bachelorette at the mansion. So we're going to see from Bachelor Mansion Takeover the things that you guys renovated and did. And just, again, explain to everybody exactly, since it's the first time we've ever seen this show, obviously no spoilers here, but explain exactly to the audience what exactly this show is when you say we're taking over the Bachelor Mansion, we're renovating the Bachelor Mansion. What was it?
I still don't know. Just kidding. No. Okay. So we have 12 contestants competing for $100,000. We all have, some background in whether it be real estate, interior design. Brendan was on there. He's in painting. Dean. I love Dean. He's more of a DIY. I can't speak for him. Noah Erb, who is also
in construction.
Yes, exactly.
No, he's a traveling nurse. I thought he was a traveling nurse.
No. I don't think he is anymore.
He was when he was on Claire's season, but yeah, I think he's transitioned out of that.
So I think that's a good place to start, is the cast. Like, it's never been done. The show is going to be, so I guess I could speak for myself. Like, I thought, I have experience with real estate. I've been selling real estate since 2009 in LA and Brentwood. I worked on a high-end team. And then when I moved back to Arizona, I got into real estate full-time. And I have really good friends that are interior designers. I've sold houses to flippers, and I've walked through. I don't want to bore you. I don't want to make it about me, because that's very Caitlin Bristow. Oh, she makes everything about her. But the reason, well, seriously, I mean, I try to listen to her podcast, and it's just like, oh my God, like, all you do is talk about yourself. But I'm just saying, like, the reason that I got invited to do the Bachelor Mansion Takeover was because I have been doing real estate. If you've followed along with me for years, I see beautiful houses. I see the trends. Also, I've, done The Bachelor. Like, the mansion is so iconic. So when I got this call, I was like so excited. Like, this is positive. I'm not going to be a villain. I can't be a villain. I have 3 little kids. Like, for me to leave my kids, Steve, is like very hard. But so let's just walk through the cast real quick. I'll just off the top of my head. So we had 3 golden. Sandra, whose sister was also on Mel Owens, which we'll get there. Kind of think he's a dickhead right now, because I don't like how he talked to my girls, Stephanie and Jackie. Then we had Joan, and then we had Chris, who was also a contestant on Joan's season. Yeah. And then we had Dean. Then we had Jill, who is iconic. She's so funny. She's like famous in her interviews, her ITMs. She was on this season of Paradise, where she was like, you fill in the blanks. And then we had Alicia, and we had who else? Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to riff with me here a little bit.
Well, you said Dean and Noah, Alicia, Joan, Chris, Sandra. Oh, Tammy.
I love Tammy.
McKinney, Sam McKinney.
Sam McKinney.
I think that's all of them.
And I kind of like relate to him on the villain aspect, because I reach out for after reality to people. I think that's enough to cover, but such a mixed bag. So I show up to record and like walk in day one. It's like, you don't know who's going to be there. I reached out to Alon. I do as much research as I can, and I had a feeling Dean would be there, but I walk in and it's just like, here we go, back in the mansion. And it was a little bit triggering, not going to lie. But I'm here to do something so positive. Like, it was a great opportunity. That's
So
what I'll
basically,
say.
your challenges are you have to renovate different areas of the mansion, right? And then there's a judging panel that says you're the winner, so you're immune from getting voted out tonight. You guys are in the bottom, or maybe you guys vote. I don't even know. I don't really know how it works, but can you, without giving away who gets eliminated when, is essentially that is you guys have challenges where you have to do something either as an individual or is a group to a room and you have to give that a theme to a part of the mansion, and then a judging panel says this team's the winner, this team's the loser, and if you're on the losing team, you have a chance to be voted out, right?
I think that a lot of us went into this, like Joan and I were very close. Obviously, like, we have a lot in common. And I think to walk it back a little bit, when there's $100,000 online. So it was like, okay, whoever makes it out at the end is going to win $100,000. So we didn't know going into it, and nor do I think production really knew, but let's talk about bunk beds. Let's talk about the mixer room, the iconic places in the Bachelor Mansion, the veranda, the pool, there were areas, I will say this with no spoilers, there were areas of the mansion that weren't being utilized, that
we've never seen as viewers on the show,
that you've never seen as viewers. So to talk about the mechanics of like how it changed each episode, and like I would love for you to have me back so I could be like, I would even do a watch along with you, but I didn't know what I was getting into. But I mean, talk about the mixer room, iconic, where everybody comes in right there, totally different. The candle room, the kitchen, the elimination room. And think about bunk beds. Like, you don't really see like a lot of areas, but like a lot of it, like, and I would love to say this, Steve, this is important, is everybody, I started to touch on it, like has like their own ideas. There were so many cooks in the kitchen, and that's what's going to make the show so good, is that yes, you might be an interior designer. Yes, you might have like this idea about this style or this aesthetic, but it's also like, this isn't like you're redesigning, a client's home. It's like, this is the Bachelor Mansion. It has to look good on camera. The franchise is tanking. Like, it has to look good on camera.
So as far as you know, everything that was completed on Bachelor Mansion Takeover, all the stuff that you and the 12 contestants did to that mansion, whatever you guys did, it was left alone from the time that filming ended till the time Taylor Frankie Paul came in?
I don't think so.
Well, then what was the point of the show? I thought you guys were supposed to make over the mansion.
No, it's made over.
So
I'm just saying
what you did for her.
And this is all speculation, but like it was a competition show.
Yeah.
I think it's television. Steve, I'm so glad you said that. Like, there are some things that I'm just going to leave it at this, that look good on TV and don't look good on TV.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, again, we're going to get our answer in about 6 weeks or so when your show starts. Bachelor Mansion Takeover.
Are you going to watch it?
I'll watch it because you're on it. And if you weren't on it, if you weren't on it, I wouldn't spend 3 seconds watching this show because I don't care about.
But I really want to tell people, like, it's put 12 former contestants, Goldens, whatever. Like, I lived it, and it took a lot for me to be there, but I get verklempt thinking about it. Like, it was hard. It was hard for me to film personally and leave my kids, but also there's a lot of drama.
Interesting. Well,
there's a lot of drama, and I don't know how it's going to play out. And that's also part of it for me, is like, I've lived it. So let's see. But the reason I will say this before we move on is to do this and leave my family, who's this safe space that I made for myself, to do it, I was like, I just really wanted to be positive. And I think it was. I mean, it's a great watch. Love the HGTV. I will say, Steve, the HGTV production versus Bachelor, wow, night and day. And they were all there, and like people were getting ready for Taylor Frankie Pauls, and people were, should I go on this season and this and that? I'm like, that's not my world. Like, but like hearing and getting close to people like that was interesting. And I'll be watching her season for sure. But yeah, I mean, to do this show, I thought I was a safe space, and we'll see how it shakes out. You know, you can't control everything.
Yeah, March 2nd, it's going to be on HGTV, and it is the Bachelor Mansion Takeover.
Yes, I hope you watch it.
Yeah. Oh, I'll watch it because you're on it. Now, moving on to something that happened earlier today, which is Mel Owens went on our friend Stephanie and Jackie's podcast, the She's All Bach podcast. And the reason he went on is because I don't know how long ago it was, but they had Peg on their podcast. And then after they had Peg on, they had Cindy, or I could be mixing up the order. Maybe they had Cindy first and then Peg came on. Well, then Mel wanted to chime in on what Cindy said. So I think it was Peg first, then Cindy. And then Mel said, basically, I want on the podcast. They had him on yesterday. It was about 50 minutes long. I watched the whole thing. Here was my initial takeaway from it.
I would love to hear your take because I'm off to the races.
Yeah. A couple things. Number one, Mel showed more personality in 50 minutes on their podcast, or at least was way more talkative on their podcast than he was on the 8 episodes we saw of The Golden Bachelor. Number two, he was infatuated with the phrase breadcrumbs, and he was going to give them a little breadcrumb, and then his breadcrumbs ended up being pretty boring stories that I didn't really care for. It was just like, he made it seem like he was going to drop this tea when he didn't really tell us something we didn't really know about how Bachelor production works. But he kept saying, well, I have this breadcrumb for you. I'm like, Mel, stop it with the breadcrumbing.
By the way, and don't educate somebody on what that means.
Yeah, exactly.
Leading the witness.
But overall, well,
I want to interject right here because would you call that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, personality or ego? Because I have a lot to say about this. And obviously, I have a horse in the race, which is Stephanie and Jackie. And I knew this was coming. I've been listening, and it's been really hyped up for so many reasons. But I see what happens online, and I'm sure you do too. Like, Peg has been going hard on this, like hyping it up. Like, you're going to have to listen to this. Like, basically saying Cindy was lying. So I listened to the whole interview, and I have a lot to say about it. So you carry on, and I'm looking for receipts right now.
Well, I just didn't think that.
I would love your initial take, truthfully.
Well, I already gave you two things that I thought about it, the breadcrumbing, and I just didn't, and I thought he talked way more. Like, I saw more, because he was just so boring on his Golden Bachelor season. He was. To me, I felt like he just didn't talk much and wasn't really responsive to the women. Just the way I took it. And I felt he talked more on this podcast. But I also think in the way he spoke about things, he kept referring to this list of things that he had written down that he wanted to confront Jackie and Stephanie about in things that they had said in past podcasts, but then he never really seemed to get around to it. And in the same breath was saying during the podcast, I don't care what people think about me. Well, then why did you write a list about what Stephanie and Jackie said about you? Like, he wasn't really making any sense. He kind of contradicted himself a few times. I just didn't think he gave us anything that was mouth open, oh my God moments, which it's like I'm assuming he contacted Stephanie or Jackie or whatever. They asked if they could get him on, and he seemed very eager. Like, I want to do this podcast to, set the record straight on everything. And I just didn't think anything. I don't think any record was set straight. I don't know. Stephanie and Jackie asked what they needed to ask. And I came away from that interview going like, what what did he say? I didn't feel like anything.
Well, I think there's a lot to unpack here. And I think that having Peg on first and then Cindy coming on, and I can fill in the blanks here, but like, so let's skip to Cindy came on and said, Mel, do you want me to do this? Like Mel was like at the hometown and like basically Mel and Peg were like, what she said on their interview with Cindy was a lie. And that's what came out today. And but so there's a lot to unpack, and you can go listen to She's All Bach. You can listen to all of it and form your own opinions. But I have a friendship with Stephanie. So do you. And this is just me listening as a fan and a listener. But to talk about the episode that came out today with Peg and Mel. So this was the first time that Stephanie and She's All Bach, Stephanie and Jackie had Mel on. And in the beginning of the interview, it's getting a lot of blowback, Steve. The first thing he says to her is like, who called me a train wreck? And the one thing that I love about Stephanie is she's a New Yorker. So is Jackie. And there was a lot of condescending things that he said in that interview. I think that, like, to touch on what you said, like, yeah, we saw more personality. We've been all wanting that. And then you listen to this, like we're getting little nuggets from their interviews that they're doing. And this interview is getting a lot of blowback. People are like, I can't believe he talked to her like that or talked to them like that. And then Peg came in the last 10 minutes because she's already been on. But I want to touch on the fact that, and I've talked about it on my podcast, obviously after reality, like Peg has been going hard on the comments against Cindy. And hey, listen, I was a ring winner. I was with the guy. Like, I never comment on Lindsay Cox's stuff. Like, let it go. And I think that there's a lot of ego here. I think the way he talked to Stephanie and Jackie was out of turn. If you listen to it, like, it was a little condescending, Steve.
Well, do you have a problem with it sounds like you have a problem with what Peg's been doing?
I do. Okay. She's been commenting on like everything that's been happening and basically trying to silence Cindy, saying like, stop going on podcasts talking about my guy. But here's the thing. She was a second, third person involved. Like, I don't think that it's for her to say like what her truth is her truth. What I never swam in that. And now they're going so hard in the paint, being like, they were so offended about that one interview. Like, her truth can be the truth. I mean, you can listen to it for yourself, but I don't think Mel, in a nutshell, came across very well.
No.
And I didn't like the way he talked to them. And like, I can give you examples if you want them. I never speak out of turn. And he talked a lot about himself. Like, to me, I personally think he's a little bit of a narcissist. And I heard things when I was filming the Bachelor Mansion Takeover about him and production and how he was, and hearing the way he talks about himself and their relationship. I mean, good luck.
Yeah, I didn't think he came across great. I think the whole thing about him, the podcast that he did that had everybody up in arms, and he's just like, no, I was just relaying. I was telling the story of a story. And I was like, that's still.
There's no accountability. And I have been the villain. There has been, like, he was like, I'm a football player. I'm this. It's like, throw me the football, brah. I mean, Steve, I'm a little bit fired up. Rein me back. You tell me what you think, and you can delete all
I've been telling you what I think about this.
But interview. You are like treading carefully. Like, I'm
not. I said I didn't think he came across great at all. Like, he was, and I said he didn't answer. I said I got to the end of that interview and I'm like, what did he actually answer? Nothing. I didn't feel like he answered anything. I didn't feel like I got any sort of, like, he literally sought out Jackie and Stephanie, seemingly. Now, maybe they reached 100%. Out to him and said, can we have him on? And he said, oh, yeah, I want to do you guys.
Well, I know for a fact they were on the call.
Yeah, because he had it. But in the beginning, he said, I've got a list of things right here. I've got my notes right here that I want to go over with you guys. But then in the same breath, he's also saying, I don't care what people think of me. Well, you clearly cared what Jackie and Stephanie thought of you.
Well, that's
because you
how
said you wanted
Peg
to go over those
rolls too. They're both just like, I think give it 6 months. I don't know what they have to prove, but like for me, that's my friend. That's your friend. Like we know Stephanie. Like, and by the way, there's been not a lot of offline chatter, but there was a point in the story where he was like, I'm sorry, point in the podcast where he said, you got to know your intel, or you got to know your people that you're dealing with.
And personnel. Yeah.
Your personnel, you know what I'm talking about, right? That
Yeah.
moment was the shift. That's where I saw him. And she said, he was like kind of schooling her, like, you have to know what you're talking about. Cause he was like literally coming like, who called me a train wreck? And I am proud of Stephanie for being like, but what was the context? Like, what
Yeah.
are you talking about? Like, and you do this, Steve, all the time. Those little details matter. But so in that later in the podcast, go listen to it. He's talking about it. And she's like, I speak fluent in sarcasm.
Yeah.
And that's what they do best. It's like, stay in your lane. I don't know. I wouldn't have them on. I would love to hear from Cindy, but at this point, it's like washed out to sea. I would give them 6 months.
Yeah, the whole thing with Cindy at this point.
Sorry, I just like to put a bow on it. Like,
there's no point in bringing Cindy on again, because then it's like, okay, well then Cindy's going to say something, and Peg's going to listen to that and say like, wait a second, but Cindy said this. Let me respond. It's like it's never going to end. You can't just keep having both of them go back and forth and back and forth. I mean, at what point does it end?
Well, and I said to Stephanie, I was like, I can't wait to hear the episode. Did you mention like? And Stephanie touched on it, and like to the average ear, you wouldn't know, but like Peg has been like kind of mean girling Sydney. What? Oh my God, am I saying it wrong? I have my notes here. Cindy, like talking about her hair. Like somebody wrote. Okay, let's just back it up. So Peg has been going hard in the paint on Cindy, and somebody wrote, your hair looks beautiful on the solo episode that she did with She's All Bach, and said your hair looks beautiful. And then she wrote under it like extensions look or whatever. Like she's been going like comment.
Peg wrote that.
Yes. Have you seen it?
I know she's been commenting.
She's been well, that's where you're missing out, because she's been trolling like every little thing. It's like, if you're happy, I said, you have on my episode, you have the guy, like, stop trolling. I literally was trying to pull him up, Steve, so you could hear. Like, you got the guy, you're living your best life. Like, you don't need to. Here, do you want me to read one?
Yeah, read one, because I didn't follow it other than what Stephanie sent me. But I don't know if that was from today or another one.
No, this has been happening before this episode, and I think it's worth noting. And okay, I'm just going to read it. So Peg wrote, somebody wrote, oof, the Peg-Cindy relationship is getting a little messy. And she wrote, it's not getting messy. Cindy is just speaking out of term. I don't know what her issue is, but she needs to let it go and move on. The show ended weeks ago, and she is still on every single podcast that will have her on talking nonsense. I don't know if this was like interrupting a late night thing. Talking nonsense. It's making her look extremely needy and desperate. Please, Cindy, let it go and move on. There are plenty of men out there that would love to marry you. And remember, everybody, Cindy is only got to spend, and just remember, Mel only got to spend 15 hours with you. Let that sink in. I got to spend about 26 hours with him.
Well, then Peg needs to be more descriptive about what she's referring to. She needs to give examples. If you're just going to say that, it's just still generic. Like if you're going to call Cindy out, Peg, then do it and give a specific example of what you're talking about. What did Cindy say that you want to specifically address, rather than just say, hey, Cindy, give it, stop talking about it, or, stop lying. I know.
And that's kind of what happened today. And it was like, she said on the podcast that he, on the hometown date, like locked the door at her place and like made out with her and like locked production out and
Mel
made out with her. And then on the interview today, he said, I listened closely. Like there was no clear cut. Like I think he lied to Peg and said that never happened. And they're like, Stephanie, I love her direct New York East Coast vibe. Was like, so you're saying that never happened? And they're like, and Peg speaks for him a lot, which I think is kind of annoying in a relationship. Like let the man speak. But said that yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah,
They
Mel.
literally blatantly, like what she said was saying those are lies. I'm like, okay, release the tapes, ABC. Like it probably happened.
Well, we're never going to get those. That's the thing. We don't know who's lying. We have no idea. We weren't there.
And who really cares? I mean, they kind of suck at this point. Yeah. Like I'm like, he's not likable. I don't like the way he talked to my friends. There's nothing really to me personally that's redeemable about him. Go have at it. Nobody really cares. I mean, what's next for them?
Are they having a part 2 interview of this?
No, I mean, at this point, like who really cares?
Yeah, because I can't think. I mean, I feel like Stephanie and Jackie covered from the time Mel was cast till the finale, and then had Peg on. What I don't see what else needs to be covered. I just would have loved if he had like
some. They covered everything. They're so good at what they do. And I didn't like how condescending they were to them. And you can see the comments. Like people are like, oh my goodness. Like they have a massive following and ride or die people. Like the way he talked to her, Steve, was very condescending.
Yeah. No.
And, but like, you know, like I love that Stephanie pushed back and was like, well, you don't think that there was anything. And at this point, like, I know personally, like from what I've heard, like he can talk, like he's like, there's so much I could say about it. But like, I wouldn't have them on my show. I mean, go do you, boo. But like, there's no accountability. There's no like he's like the throw me the football kind of guy.
Well, I think the whole thing.
He thinks he's perfect. They're perfect. Everybody else is wrong. Like, you got to take accountability. And that's what I feel about Nick Viall. And I can tie this into so many things. Like, even when I was a villain, like I wrote my book and I was like, this is where I was wrong. Like, you have to, there's none of that with him. None of that came across. None of that came across with Peg. And you got your guy just right off into the sunset. But like, Steve, I would love your thoughts, but I'm like heated. I'm like
thoughts all the last
but I'm minutes. Heated. But when you've seen villains come through, and I would say Mel is one, and he's trying to now create this narrative that they're happy and they're this, and he's made it sound like he always knew that was hurtful to Cindy. That he always knew it was Peg. It's like I just don't even care. But here's the thing, you know.
Well, you're heated, so I guess there's a part of you that does care because you're heated about it. Like you said.
I'm heated because I've lived it and I've been the ring winner, and I treated the other person that was in the mix with grace.
Yeah.
How often have you heard me talk about Lindsay Cox? That's what I'm saying.
You never bring up Lindsay Cox. I've never heard you bring her up once.
Never. Yeah. Like,
so I think what's interesting in this is that, you know, the main thing that I wanted to hear that I didn't hear from Mel was the 45 to 60-year-old comment, and I don't want women with artificial hips. Like, how is that not? How does he not take accountability for that? All he said was, oh, no, I was answering a story about a story. It's like, okay, great. I don't care how we got to that point. You still said, I only like 45 to 60-year-old women. My question would have been, is that what you like, Mel? You only are interested in 45 to 60-year-old women? And why did you make a comment about artificial hips?
Because you didn't Stephanie know the show has been commenting. They've been doing that, Steve. And since it's on my memory right now, they talked about oh my God, there's so much. You got to go listen to it. But basically,
I did listen to it. They never brought that up. I listened to the whole interview. They never brought that up, or he never brought up his comment about artificial hips or 45 to 60-year-old women. He said, I said that on the podcast because I was just relaying a story of a story. It's like, I don't care about
excuses. Exactly. We've all moved on. We've all moved on from you. But the thing that I thought was interesting, and I listened with a different set of ears, was when he said, she walked up, Peg walked up, and there's something here, Steve. He said, I thought she looked younger than 60.
Yeah.
And he said there was a workaround or whatever his verbiage was. So he thought she looked
He said he
beautiful.
thought she was 35.
You heard that, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is like ding, ding, ding right there, Steve.
He's
like,
looking for somebody that might be
looks
60,
young.
but they're younger looking. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's, it all goes back to it. And you can, every which way till Tuesday, try to, that interview was horrible. And he has not taken accountability for that at all. He's like, oh, this and that. And I'm an attorney and I'm this. You're not coming across as likable. He should get a media coach. So should Peg. Stop trolling people on the internet. Like, it's weird to be she's not even a ring winner. And then he talked about Chad being like, oh, Game of Roses. Clearly he cares.
Yeah, he's not a fan of Game of Roses.
He makes it sound like he doesn't care, but he cares. And I care because this is the franchise. Like, he's like, oh, I watched, he talked about Gary Turner. He's shooting shots. Like, who's going to want to hang out with this guy? There's nothing like I said, redeemable about him. There's something fun to be around. I mean, Peg is like scrolling and talking, like making mean girl comments. Like, I've never done that, and nor do I want people in my orbit that do that.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. Let's hope that they are just done.
And I probably have seen more than you have. Sorry, Steve, to come hot out the gate, but like, I don't like people that talk to my friends that way. And like, I don't think he's done his research, which he talked about. Like, you have to know your personnel and this and that. It's like, I don't think you ever did your personnel.
Yeah, I think I just hope they're done. If they never do another podcast appearance again, not even as a couple, I'm just saying I just hope they're done doing media. Right. Because I just don't feel like anything's getting accomplished at this point.
No. And like Peg, and she's put a bad taste in my mouth. Like, you're just like, just the comments. It's like, you are the worst.
Did Peg comment today under their video today?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't had time. Obviously, you knew I had to go get Gabriel, but I can circle back on this. And sorry if I've yard sale, but like, I've loved Stephanie and Jackie, and listening to that podcast like really infuriated me because I felt like it was Nick Vialli energy of like talking down, like. And it's funny because I loved your interview, your episode talking about Colton. And like feeling like somebody's using you to like push their narrative. And that's how it felt for me. Yeah. And they're really good at what they do. And I just read between the tea leaves.
Yeah. He went on there seemingly with an agenda to confront Stephanie and Jackie for things that he claimed that he heard in the podcast with Cindy and with Peg that he wanted to call them out on.
And he didn't even do it.
And then he never did it. So it just was, and he said, I've got a list here. I've got my notes right here. And then he never did it other than the train wreck. Well, who called me a train wreck? It's just like.
And Stephanie, I'm proud of her. Like, and I know you've been in situations like that where people like call you out on the spot. Like, they're experts in their field. They're really good. But like him being like calling her out, like she came prepared. Yeah. And I know that for a fact. And, I don't know if he did. And, touche.
Well, he claims he did because he had his notes, but then he never used them. So,
yes, I love how Jackie's like, get your notes out.
Stephanie's preparation, she was basically ended up being over prepared because she didn't have to use any of her ammo against him because he never came with anything.
Well, and Steve, and I would love to ask you about this because you've interviewed probably more Bachelor contestants, and I loved your episode yesterday talking about Colton, and like, I think that's like pertinent to like him being on Traitors, and like, I know you felt that way. Like, people want to share something through your channel. Like, you're the vessel to share that story. So yeah. Like, you want to be on the right side of history, but you also want to get a good get. And like, that's a good get. Like, but like, who else is trying to get, like, Nick Vial is not going to get Mel and Peg on. Like, no, I don't really, I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, I don't think that they're going on anymore. I don't think anybody cares anymore about them. It's just like, hey, if you're going to make it, you're going to make it. as a couple. If you're not, you're not. But they don't need to do any more podcasts.
But be likable. Like,
Yeah.
be
But it's too late for
likable.
that. It's almost too late for that because of their appearance on She's All Bach. Like, because
Yeah.
it just didn't come across as it just.
Go look at She's All Bach comments. Like, if you're
Yeah.
talking about her hair and you're like mean girling Cindy's hair, like she's moved on. Like her like swimming in that, like that's not healthy for a relationship either. Like,
Yeah.
and I've lived it. I've been somebody who had hooked up with 2 other people in the fantasy suites.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
the narrative that he's pushing, he should probably dial it back. But you know, she's there. Let's just hope. Let's wish the best for them. But I don't
Let's
think
hope
that
they're
we'll
done.
see it a lot. I don't see them at a lot of Bachelor events. Like, and from what I've heard from producers, he was pretty difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
And you can hear that. Listen to that episode. Like can I share a story? Because
Sure.
I just did the Bachelor Mansion Takeover. And this is public knowledge, but they say there's one thing, mic packs, so expensive. So they mic you up anytime you're on camera. And he talked about that on her episode. Like, well, I thought I wasn't mic'd up. And he was like trying to be like, I was the breadcrumbs and you knew it was always her. I'm like, But night 1, they said, the only thing you can't do is jump in the pool. Here's the thing. They're like, let's just put a number on it, Steve. The mic packs, equipment, it's expensive. Do not jump in the pool with mics on. That's the number 1 rule in reality TV. What does Mel Owens do?
Did he jump in the pool? I don't even remember.
With mic packs on.
But he jumped in with like 7 women. I remember they were all holding hands. That's right. They were all holding hands and they all jumped in the pool.
What's the number 1 thing you don't do in reality TV?
And how is that? I'm just saying, I'm not defending Mel at all, but how is that just on Mel? 7 other women jumped in with him.
It was his idea.
But did they take their mic packs off?
Nobody did.
Oh, nobody did. Okay. So that pissed them off. I don't think that was on night 1, but yeah, it happened at the mansion. I do remember that.
Well, follow up on that, but
yeah, it definitely wasn't night 1. It was
when you're on reality TV and you see how hard everybody's working, the guys that mic you up, the this, the that, the cost of things, and I heard rumblings that he was like, "This is good TV," and they were like, "Don't do it," and he's like, "I'm doing it," and he's like, "I just made great TV." It's like, it's literally like a shot of B-roll. Like, get over yourself, dude. Like it. You don't, and I just lived it in the mansion. Like there's might be some pool, things. Obviously that's iconic. And yeah, from what I've heard through the grapevine is that I think that they'll fade to black, hopefully. All right, and if he comes to me, I will 100% step to him.
Well, I thought you don't want to have him on. You don't want to talk to anybody.
No, I don't want to talk to him. What is he? He's not an interesting guy to me. Like if you're so set in your ways, and I've already heard through the grapevine in the way you talk to my friend, which I think is terrible and like condescending, and you can take any of this out you want, Steve, but I'm just a little bit fired up.
You think? All right, I want to end with this. You had mentioned to me off air that you were thinking of doing a rewatch of your season, Ben's season, which hasn't been done. At least, I mean, there have been people that have done rewatches of season. I know Game of Roses does it, of past seasons, stuff like that. But you are a former contestant, a former winner that is interested in going back, starting a Patreon channel and doing a rewatch of your season. Can you tell people, is this going to happen, when it's going to happen, where they can find it? Have you decided for sure this is what you want to do?
So, yes, I've gone up and down with it. Like, obviously I have After Reality, my podcast I've been kind of zigging and zagging with that. I've got, Bachelor contestants, former villains. I want to interview everybody that was on the Bachelor Mansion Takeover, but yeah, I want to do a rewatch, and I would love to have you on with me because I know, here's the funny thing that people don't know about you. You loved Emily, my arch nemesis.
Plenty of people are aware of that. Yeah, they know.
Well, If you want to do a rewatch with me, I would love to. Yes. So I'm going to fire that up. I finally, my son, so going into the show, the reason I was able to do the show on HGTV March 2nd was that I got my son Gabriel into daycare. And he got into daycare 2 weeks before I left for filming. So I got camera ready. And now I'm like coming back from filming, and long story short, I have the bandwidth now to do a Patreon, and I appreciate your support in that, because you know you're doing your rewatches and of Grease and Saved by the Bell, and to me it's fun. Like
Yeah.
but I want to rewatch my season. I've never watched it from start to finish, and I think that there's like a fine balance there. Like, I'm like, how much do I say? And like, what do people want to know? So there's a learning curve. But yes, I'm doing that. I'm going to start my Patreon. It's already actually active. I'm going to probably post half the season first. So, yeah.
Are you wanting to have some of the women from your season on?
I'd be happy to. KCB, Jamie Otis. Like, I'd
Yeah.
love to have a watch along with you or Stephanie, like for pivotal episodes, if people can find the time. I would love to have you on for a rewatch. Would you be down for that?
Oh yeah. I would think.
Really?
What was the was it Utah? Was it Park City?
Utah.
That
Utah
was
was where
that
she
was where it
called
kind of came to
me
head. That was where it kind of
something
came to head
bad.
between you and Emily, right?
Yeah.
Utah. Yeah, I mean, well, any episode doesn't matter which one.
Would you do it with me? That would be fun. Like, to me, like, I just think it sounds fun, like to do, and it's a little bit heavy and cathartic for me. So I started recording the other day. I'm already recording episodes, and I was like, oh my god, I'm like watching episode 1. It's like him getting rejected from Ashley A. Bear, and I'm like, oh, this is already bringing up feelings. So yeah, I think I want to do it, which is also like, should I do this? It's like I'm married with 3 kids, but I think it would be good therapy.
Is it going to be triggering for you to watch that back and watch everyone gang up on you?
Yeah. I think it'll be triggering in all senses. More so for me, the relationship, because we were obviously together for a year. Like, I think that I never watched it because I didn't want to see him making out with women or what he was, I never fully watched it. So like, I think I'm going to see some things that maybe hurt my feelings a little bit.
Oh, and Ben recently had a child, right? Didn't he have a daughter?
Yes, I'm so happy he had a boy
Oh,
on
he had a boy.
December 22nd, and he's very private online, and I sent him a message, all good there. He had a baby boy, and I'm so happy for him. But it's so funny. There's part of me that was like going down this rabbit hole of like, I'm going to do a Patreon, I'm going to do a rewatch. That's like, should I ask him? But like, he is like in that like baby bliss bubble. Like, he is just like out of it. Like, but
Yeah.
and then there's part of me that thinks like, do I want to, like, it's probably annoying for him, he
Yeah.
probably hears about it. Like, there's part of me that's like, I want to respect their peace and their baby bliss bubble, because I've lived it 3 times over.
I can't imagine his wife wants him going on your podcast. Not that there's like lingering feelings. It's 14 years. Like, obviously you both are married
Yeah.
and moved on.
I
And have
asked
children,
him,
but
and at the time, his new wife was his girlfriend. He's like, hey, out of respect for my new girlfriend, like, it's just not going to happen.
yeah. And now
And
that
that
she's his
was,
wife and now the mother of his child, there's zero chance.
and I
he's gonna do
respect
it.
that. Like, I
Yeah.
really, really do. Like, that's what I would expect from my husband.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to promote the Patreon channel and where people can go see it, but it's not active yet, right? You haven't launched
No,
it yet?
here's the thing, and Steve, I would love your opinion. And I we voice note. That's what I do with my true friends. But I'm like, oh, it's a lot of digital stuff to figure out. So like, I already have recorded a couple, but I don't want to launch it until like failure to launch. I want to do it when I'm ready, like have 3 episodes. So thank you for promoting that. And just, I think if anything, just go listen to After Reality. I've got some great episodes, and I'm going to, like I said, be interviewing the cast members from the Bachelor Mansion Takeover. But yeah, I'm definitely going to, and I would love to have you on for a rewatch.
Yeah. No, I'll do it. So you said you've done 2 episodes. You've rewatched the first 2 episodes.
Yes. But I want to have like 3. So it's like, okay, Patreon, after reality, or I can send it. You could put it in the show notes, but I'm not going to launch it till I feel like people want to tune in. I also did a rewatch of Traitors with Colton because that's on brand for me. And the one with Michael Rapp before. Oh my God, Steve.
Yeah, I'm just sick. I'm just glad he's off my television. I don't give a 2 shits about that guy anymore.
I feel like that if you were on you should go on Traitors.
I'm not going on Traitors. I'm not putting
go on Traitors. They're literally are. Why?
Because I'm not famous. Courtney, come on.
No, they're
Courtney.
They're casting.
Courtney, stop. They're not putting me on a TV show. I know they're doing regular people, but I don't want to go to Scotland and to be on a.
Why wouldn't you? Come on.
It doesn't interest me whatsoever.
I want Chad on that.
Chad for sure, but I don't think they would put him on because he's such a gamer, and he wouldn't. While he would be considered, not a reality star, because the next Traitors that they're doing is just regular people.
Murder.
He would.
What would happen if I nominate you and I happen to know the head of casting?
Yeah.
Would you, if you got the call?
Oh, if I got the call, I'd be like, not interested. Click. I have no interest.
Stop it.
I have no interest in being.
Oh my God, you would be amazing. No. We could get an ascot for you. What would your wardrobe be? Let's have some fun with it.
A kilt and an ascot. No, I just have no interest in being on TV. It doesn't interest me at all. Like I don't want to be on.
You would be TV. You're not a gamer. You would be amazing.
Yeah, no.
People will be like, "Reality Steve's here." Holy mackerel!
Yeah, I don't want to.
I'm gonna sign you up. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. Well, if they contact me, I'll just say, "Hey, thanks," but no thanks. I'm not interested. But yeah, I think.
Well, sorry, I just took you on a roller coaster. You got cocktail Courtney versus 2 o'clock Courtney.
Well, at this point, you have your Patreon that we can just basically tell people, even though you haven't launched it, we can basically just say
it's coming.
It's coming. Inspect it. Yeah. But what I wanted to say
Traitors, and I would even do a rewatch with you.
Yeah, I know. Would you do? You said you've done 2 episodes of your season. Wasn't the second episode your one-on-one date? Your first one in Sonoma?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you met his dog?
I wanted to try it out. Scotch.
What's his dog's name? Scotch.
I love Scotch. He was like my dog for a while. Oh, because I lived up there
Scott
with him
passed,
for a bit.
I believe. Scott has passed on, right? Yeah. Unfortunately.
And Luca, your dog's name's Luca, right?
Yeah.
So you get the dog love.
Oh, yeah.
That is so sweet. Yeah, I mean, there was real love there. And I think that's what I was saying, like the drama, like, part of me is like, it was like very triggering for me. Like, do I want to revisit that? And so part of me filming 2 episodes was like, do I want to relive that? I'm like in like a sweet spot. And I don't know, Steve. I don't know. What would your advice be?
Well, you've already filmed it. What, are you not going to release it now?
Well, I've got like 10 more episodes to go.
Yeah. I mean, I would just continue doing it, obviously, and then, let people know. I would just, keep doing it for sure.
All right. What's coming up next for you? What's cooking? I love to switch the tables on you. What's coming up?
Love is Blind, probably.
Wait, there's a new season?
February 11th, I believe. Yeah.
I am like so low on shows right now, Steve.
So that's like it's like 9. It's less than 3 weeks away.
Are you gonna watch that on your Patreon?
No, that won't be I'll cover that on my YouTube channel. That won't be on my Patreon. I'll definitely cover that on my YouTube channel, kind of like how I'm doing Traitors. I'll probably just go live at some point the next day after the episodes drop, because that first drop is 6 episodes. It's usually 6 episodes, then 3, then 2, then 1, and the reunion. So, or maybe 1 and then the reunion the following week. So I will just cover it on my in my YouTube channel. But yeah, that's coming out February 11th. Yeah. So less than 3 weeks.
Wait, do you have a Valentine?
My dog.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you a card.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. That'll be the one Valentine card I get.
Also, we got to get ready for your birthday party.
Well, it won't be a birthday party this year. It'll just be my 10th annual, hopefully, 10th annual fan appreciation party.
Hopefully. Yeah, we have a lot to figure out, but we will get to that. And I don't want to put you on the spot, but it's going to be good. It's going to be great.
Let's hope so. All right. You can catch her on her After Reality podcast, which you can get on wherever you listen to your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever. And then be on the lookout at Bug Robertson. Be on the lookout for when she announces and when you announce your rewatch of your season of The Bachelor, Ben Flanick's season. So, Courtney, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Glad we could able to. Sorry, we had the kid emergency earlier today, but we were able to get it done tonight.
Steve, I appreciate you. I love you, and feel free to trim the fat.
Yep. All right. Talk soon.
Hasta luego.
Bye.
Adios.